I just found out at least 4 of my 5 children are not mine. My wife won't say anything. Note, please do not use ancestry kits as a paternity test. If you genuinely want to check your child is your own, get a proper paternity test at your local medical lab. Ancestry tests are not accurate and should not be used to test paternity. In my case, it simply raised the alarm to get a proper test. My world has been turned upside down over the last couple of weeks. I just want to write as much context as possible so I can get the best advice needed. For obvious reasons, I'm not yet comfortable talking about this with my friends or parents or siblings. Background: I met my wife when we were in high school and we married in college. We have 5 beautiful children together. Really, I consider them a total blessing, regardless of what I'm about to bring up. And up until a couple of weeks ago, I thought that we had the perfect marriage. We were typical high school sweethearts. We go out together, we never fight. I feel like I've done everything a loving husband should do. I'm saying this not to make myself out as the perfect husband. For example, my work has always meant I work long hours and maybe haven't always been there when she needed me. But I want to stress that I've never felt our marriage was in any trouble, and never in a million years would I have ever suspected my wife of being disloyal. She's always done everything she could to support me and take care of our children. Now, my eldest daughter recently had an ancestry test done, and the results of the ancestry test strongly suggested I was not her father. She confided this to me privately, showing me the results, and I could tell she was visibly upset by this. Of course, the first thing I did was reassure her that no matter what, she's my daughter, and I'll always love her unconditionally. But secondly, the 2 of us decided to get an official paternity test since the ancestry tests are not completely reliable. Well, it came back, and indeed, I am not her biological father. This news really broke me. I'm ashamed to say I broke down in tears in front of my daughter. The combination of finding out about my wife's infidelity and how upset I was making my daughter by how I was reacting, I really wish I had kept it from her, but I didn't. Following this, I asked my other children, except my youngest, to come and see me. I wanted to know the extent of my wife's infidelity. If it was a one-off, I could maybe work past it, especially given how long ago it was. However, I didn't want to tell my youngest, as she is still in school, a teenager, and really I didn't think it was appropriate to tell her yet. We told the other 3 what had happened. I reassured them that I loved them unconditionally, and that I'll always be their dad, but that I needed to know how long this has been going on. God, I can't begin to explain how touching their reaction was. They didn't care I wasn't their biological father. They were just upset at how heartbroken I was. I feel like the only thing that has kept me going these last couple of weeks was their unwavering support. So we had paternity tests for each of the 3 done. Not only are none of them my biological children, together, 4 of my children have 3 different fathers, which somehow made it worse. It's like she wasn't just having an ongoing affair, she was having multiple ones. I can't explain how this makes it worse, but it just does. So I confront my wife with this, expecting her to confess and beg for forgiveness. She doesn't confess. She doesn't even take it seriously. She says the test must be flawed. All 4? How the hell am I supposed to take that seriously? I keep bringing it up, and she keeps brushing it off, getting progressively more annoyed with me. When I bring it up, she will try and guilt trip me. She says, "We've been together since high school. Do you seriously not trust me?" And things like that. But how am I supposed to trust her in the face of such overwhelming evidence? Now that I have rambled and explained what has happened, I guess let me ask a few direct questions for advice. How can I reassure my children this doesn't change anything between us? I feel like the way I have reacted, total breakdowns, has made them second guess this despite however many times I reassure them. How do I handle my youngest daughter? I feel like our marriage is beyond saving, and I will need to tell my daughter something. I don't want her to know the truth until she's older, but I also don't want my wife lying and making me out to be the villain. Is there any way at all, You think I could or should save my marriage? I've been with my wife my entire life. It's almost impossible to see a life without her. I know that the answer should be a clear-cut leave her, but we have 5 kids together. If there's anything that can be done to save our marriage, I want to consider it seriously. We have questions that Opie answered. How did the ancestry results suggest I wasn't her father? My family is entirely Irish. No relatives outside of Ireland other than my immediate family. And I even have the stereotypical red hair. My daughter's ancestry results showed nothing from the British Isles or Western Europe or Northern Europe. That's what set off alarm bells. But it's by no means conclusive, hence the paternity tests. Which 2 children share the same father? My 2 eldest daughters share the same father. OP made an update. I have received a lot of messages and comments asking about an update, and countless remind me comments. I will post an update, but it will not be anytime soon. This entire mess will take a long time to, make any sense out of. I don't know when I will post an update, but it will be weeks from now at a minimum, if not months. But I promise it will come eventually. Once again, thanks for the tremendous support everyone has shown me. And we have the final update. I have been debating whether or not to post an update, because nothing was ever resolved. I decided I would post it here in case anyone is still waiting for one. I apologize for not updating earlier when I promised I would. My kids and I confronted their mother shortly after making that Reddit post. It really didn't go well. I think the prospect that no one believed her finally hit home, because she completely broke down and apologized profusely, but refused to explain herself or anything that would give me peace of mind. For the next few weeks, we barely said a word to each other. I was hoping she was thinking it over, and I expected her to eventually sit me down and explain herself. I figured she was so far deep in a lie that got out of control, she needed time to think things over. Nope, I came home one evening to find that she had herself by overdosing. So I lost the love of my life, and I'll never know what mistakes she had made. I really wish I could go back in time and forget about it all. Whatever mistakes she made, I honestly wanted to work through it. And now I'm just riddled with guilt that I pressed her for an answer. The worst part of this ordeal was watching my kids work so hard to keep me together after having lost their mother. Anyway, please tell your family you love them while you have the chance. Oh my God, I do not accept this ending. To be honest, this is the saddest story that we have ever had on this channel. Jesus Christ. OP is the victim here in just about every way, but will still probably carry around the guilt for the rest of his life. I hope everyone got therapy. However, the children might be able to figure out what happened to some extent by identifying their biological fathers through DNA matches. It isn't always easy, but with at least 3 different biological fathers out there, there's a decent chance that they'd be able to identify at least one of them, and from there, possibly figure out something about how he was involved with OP's wife. Let me know what you would do if you're in this situation down below. In the comments, if you subscribe, remember to click the bell icon for notifications. To enjoy all the stories, use the playlist at the top of the description of this video. See you in the next video.